Namaskaram and welcome here from Kerala. I've got some friendly birds here. My name is Dinsmore-Tuli, and this is a little reflection on yoga and women's health, yoga therapy for women's health and vitality. I spend a lot of my time running retreats and training courses for supporting women's health through the practices of yoga. And I just like to get the message across that I see there are three key ingredients when we're looking at a yoga therapy program for women to support our health and well-being at all stages of life. And I always incorporate those three in any retreats or trainings that I do, also in the workshops that I run. The three ingredients are a very special blend that's deeply nourishing. So in the first space, I noticed that Yoga Nidra is a very key ingredient. It's one of the key yoga therapy practices that I like to share in support of women's health and vitality. I've spoken about that elsewhere. So Yoga Nidra is a key ingredient, and the Sangha is a key ingredient. The Sangha is the circle, the community. In yoga, we often talk about a practice of satsang. Sat is the truth, and satsang is being with the truth. And often that's seen like you have some nice sage, some wise white-bearded fellow up on a stage, and they talk to you, and that's satsang, where you listen to their words of wisdom. But what I see that's really powerful for women's health is that when we get in a circle, and I always work in a circle, I find that the circle is the key holding vessel for transformation and healing, especially for women. It's what women can do. We can circle and gather, and so I always work with that in my trainings and retreats. And so I see that when we gather in circle and we have respect and honor for all of the women who are present in that circle, and we let everybody's voice be heard, and we make decisions about what we do according to how that circle's needs are being met, then that's actually a really key ingredient for healing. It is a form of yoga. I do a special greeting. Some of you, if you've been in classes and sessions when we notice it, where we honor each woman, we honor her heart, we honor her name, and we honor her Shakti. We take that greeting down and honor her power. And when you have a whole group of women all honoring each other's power, calling each other by name, that's a really powerful healing force. It's one of the most powerful healing forces on the planet, is a circle of women, as those of you who sit in women's circles will know. So there's two ingredients there. There's Yoga Nidra, and there's the satsang, in this case, the circle of women. And the other ingredient that I use in the trainings that I do and that I speak about in the workshops and retreats is Bhakti yoga. So Bhakti is the experience of devotion, of connection. It's about relationship and a heartfelt connection, a real heartfelt connection. And sometimes that manifests in the form of kirtan, which is a form of Bhakti yoga, which is singing the divine names and sharing song and music and maybe dance as well. So that's often part of what I share, especially if I have the good fortune to be working with my marvelous sister and Kirtan Wala Shivani Mata. We always incorporate the Kirtan within the trainings that we do. We did that here. I've just finished some trainings here in Kerala. So that is really important. That devotional aspect doesn't need to come through singing and chanting. It often does in certain environments, but actually it's about a heartfelt connection with what's precious and spirited, so that when we feel in this earthly residence of spirit, we feel a connection in a really heartfelt way, then that can open up all sorts of levels of healing at the level of the emotional body. The Yoga Nidra is mostly working at the level of the intuitive body, our connection with insight and understanding. And I find that with the circle of women, we're also feeling very secure and connected in a way that's not just physical, it's also emotional and mental. So those are the three kinds of yoga that I do. And so we often spend a lot of time greeting each other, doing a Yoga Nidra practice, maybe chanting some of the holy names, although just chanting the names of the women who was there, that's holy enough also. So these are three key ingredients. I also use asana, movement, and breath and mudra and bandha. They're very important things too. But without those first three key ingredients of the yoga nidra and the Sangha or the satsang and the Bhakti nidra, the Bhakti yoga, then it's very hard to get yoga therapy to work. I feel it needs heart. It needs a real dropping into our intuitive nature, and it needs the support of our sisters. And when you have that, then you're on a roll. Then sometimes you don't need to do anything else at all, you know. Sometimes you do need the bandhas and the mudras and the asana and the pranayama. They're all vital tools. But sometimes just those three key ingredients are so powerful that that's what you need. So very often on our retreats, that's what you get. Get a lot of that, a lot of yoga nidra, a lot of bhakti yoga, a lot of satsang and circle and sharing, very powerful. So I just wanted to share those with you, and maybe at some point I see you in person. If I've met you before, I send you my loving greetings from this beautiful place where I've been blessed and honored to share the Well Woman Yoga Therapy training. It's precious, yeah. So put these things in place in our lives. Thank you. Namaskaram. Thank you for listening.